You know, a funny thing is that I had a hell of a time figuring out where we were on the map when I first loaded in. I was like, where is everyone? No, it doesn't do that. Yeah, top left corner. Well, fuck you too. All right. Yes, everything's up and running. We're good to go. Everything's live.
After a long break to the next session of Here Be Dragons. Who's giving a recap after the 2-week absence?
Oh, went into a pit to find a bunch of goodies. We were stuck in this endless loop for a while until finally we figured it out, and then we got out. Or behind that door we just went through, motherfuckers. We're here. What's that for summary?
I mean, it covers the broad strokes.
Yeah, very broad stroke. Want me to go in more detail, or are we good? I have more detail if we need it.
I think we're good enough there.
Okay.
You glossed over the fact where Lessla killed the same bitch like about 5 times.
I didn't need to be said.
Only twice.
Hurley, do you need another recap? Because I know you sometimes things.
I should be fine.
Okay.
So I believe when we last left off, you were all walking down that doorway that had just appeared, or that hallway rather.
Cautiously,
Yep. Yep, very cautiously.
So it is very dark in there. Important question: who's up front in the group?
I would be.
Okay, Corvus.
That's true.
I would probably be behind him because, sneaky.
Cheese will be the caboose.
Cheese will be last. Okay. Hope is probably going to be right in front of Cheese.
Yeah.
Lesla's probably sandwiched between Zarfea and Vale. Because this isn't really long enough for you to have like multiple people.
Wide enough?
Stand side by side. It's not, yes, wide enough, thank you. So as you keep going, does anyone have any light out or no?
I still have my dagger.
Yeah, as do
Give me
I.
dagger. Okay.
No, I should have taken that bullseye lantern. That was part of the loop.
All right. So as you keep walking down, Corvus, you gradually begin to. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and roll me a perception check, Corvus.
Normal roll. First roll. It's going to be low. Less than 10.
Okay. So as you're going down, you're walking down this hallway for about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. And you start to notice that the dagger is no longer illuminating sides of the wall. It's emitting light, it's illuminating you, but it's not showing walls or floor or ceiling. Just black all around you.
I'm going to assume this is magical darkness.
Well, again, it's
Can we
still
still see
illuminating
one
him.
another?
You can still see, you can still see each other. You can still see the light.
But we can't see outside of the light.
You can't see any walls, any floor, any ceiling. You just see black all around. Like it's not illuminating. Like there's nothing there to illuminate.
So,
It's still feel the floor.
So the best way
That's not
I
really
think we can, like, the best way to describe this, has anyone played Dark Souls 1?
No. I love myself.
I didn't get past
Yeah.
the first stage.
I hate myself enough to play through the Souls game.
I didn't get
Yeah.
past the first stage.
You know, you don't have to hate yourself to play the Souls games. You just have to be good. Anyway.
We all know you're a masochist, Rex.
There's a level of masochism involved with all of the FromSoft games.
Mm-hmm.
Not if you just play it logically. But anyway, so there's this one fight where you're fighting things and you're basically on a invisible floor. And around you...
What I'm hearing is we don't look down and we won't fall like Looney Tunes.
That's not how... Okay. I think you looked down already, considering that he described how you can't see the floor with the light.
That's just Corvus.
Nope, that's everyone. That's what everyone
Oh
can see.
shit, we're falling now.
You still feel ground beneath you.
Corvus will just. He'll like just gesture to the group to move slowly because he can't see the ground. Could be a give or something, so he's just being more steps and more cautious with them.
Hmm.
I would I don't want to use my spell slots.
Oh, is that a trick? Will that help? If I could go
I
right.
have the feeling we are in illusion magic. Once again, and I'm starting to get tired of this.
Yeah.
Are you all pressing forward, or are you stopping?
Corvus will. He's breathing cautiously.
Hmm.
There's
I think he'll-
there's nothing else to do, so
I think he'll take his spear from his back and tap the floor. Run it along the floor just in front of him to make sure it's like a dip.
Okay.
has her staff and uses it as a staff, so she's had it on the ground relatively consistently.
I think now is a proper time to cast Detect Magic.
Is that going to be ritually, or?
If I can walk and cast it ritually while I'm doing it, then yes. But I
Technically,
don't.
the casting is action.
Yeah.
And movement is separate, so technically you.
Technically, I can,
Just
but
takes a
it's
while.
up to GM really at the end.
I would say for detect magic, probably.
All right. In that case, yeah, we'll ritually cast Detect Magic over the next 10 minutes of us walking through this illusion.
Okay. So you get to about 5 minutes after you start doing that. Corvus, you feel through your kind of reaching out and feeling the world around you, you feel like a tremor run through. Well, it's hard to say run through anything because you can't feel anything around you, but you just feel a tremor. Like it's in the very air.
This will stop.
Corvus stops the whole line.
Yeah.
Lessla can't ask why
What is
because
it?
she's ritually casting.
What is it?
Something moving, I think.
Something moving?
Like. It's as if something's moving through the air, but. I don't
So
know how to describe it.
as you're fumbling for the words, all of you simultaneously feel a shift as for the briefest instant you feel the loss of ground beneath you, and in that very same instant you see something very different surrounding you.
Okay, nope.
Oh god.
We're in space. Okay.
It's a Windows. No, we've been transported to a Windows desktop background. No!
No!
Ow.
So what you see all around you, so those of you who have some ability of magic, which is all of you, actually, all of you have some
We're all
ability of magic.
spellcasters.
Yeah, I forgot that for a second. You do see the swirling, I guess auroras would be a way to put it. And all the white specks that float around and flitter, they flicker in and out and all around, but they're far away enough to where you can't make out what they are. Just they are moving through the miasma that surrounds you. While you can't really see a floor, you are standing on something solid.
I have a question, John.
Uh-huh.
Does it look or feel similar to where what's his name? Willis took us to? He was doing that little mental thing.
No, this is very
Okay.
different.
Making sure.
This is not
On my
like
basis.
a meditation in your mind. This feels like you are physically somewhere.
Okay.
Had to make sure.
And you said our feet are touching something solid underneath us, or
There is something solid, like you are standing on something, you just can't see whatever it is. Like there's ground there, but
fun?
yeah.
Okay. Just looking around.
Lesla's still casting the ritual.
Always will think for a minute and try to like. He remembers he's going off of like if it's similar. Let's see if it's similar. Essentially, he's trying to focus on like tree. Try and make a tree appear.
Okay, you focus on a tree, and nothing happens. How long do you focus on the tree?
Only for enough to like I picture it in my mind, place it out in the world, and nothing changes, and I go okay.
Yeah, nothing changes.
Just making sure. This might be an illusion.
That's a good idea,
of some
though.
kind. Yeah, this might be an illusion of some kind. Just keep
Does it?
your.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
No, I had checked a DM or something. Are we still on solid ground?
It feels like it, yeah.
Okay.
You don't see anything, but yeah, it does feel solid. Like if you take your
Okay.
foot and stomp it, you hit something.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that. My bad. That was it.
No, you're fine.
Both will take a
So-
cautious step. Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. You take a cautious step.
Yeah.
And yeah, your foot hits ground. Or feels like it does anyway.
Standing in space. This is. What is this room?
Corvus is just like I was used to using the stick, the staff to not the staff, the spear, running it along the ground, still in front of him. It's just, it's not. I guess it's sensing. He's definitely sensing everything. Is there like a sound to this place, or is it just visual?
Now that you can hear, it sounds completely silent except for the sounds of those around you.
She's
Well,
just
just
gonna
tap-
tap her staff.
Yeah.
I think we had the
It's gonna
same
do the
idea.
exact same
Tap on the
thing.
ground and
They
listen,
just
does it sound like
simultaneously
stone or does
do
it
it.
sound like it's something else?
What are you listening? What are you like expecting to hear?
Yeah.
Not necessarily expecting to hear anything. Just want to know what sound it makes. Does it sound like the sound it was making whenever I was walking along earlier with stone, or is
Yes,
it
it does.
something different? Okay, it
Yes,
still
it
sounds
does.
like stone.
Alright.
She's just gonna kind of like poke towards where theoretically the walls would have been.
Not that we even knew where they were to begin with.
Whenever we began, we saw walls, though. She's
That's
gonna
so
try to
So
move towards those.
you tap and you hit something where you're expecting there to be a wall, but as you go to like inform everyone of this, you see Hope just walk right through where you just tapped, kind of looking around.
I understand. I wish, Lessla wasn't casting ritual.
But Lessla, you finally get that ritual off.
Okay. Do I sense magic around me?
Most certainly.
Yeah.
You're blind.
Though, as you look around, the area looks very much the same as it did before you cast the ritual.
Again, you don't automatically see the auras of magic. You just sense them at first. You have to spend an action to see the auras, which I will then do.
Yeah, I was assuming you would.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, it looks the same way. There's no difference as to what you see with the magic, with the tech magic versus without.
Oh, I understand. I sense magic, but I can't actually see what the object emanating the magic is. Therefore, it's not showing me the auras. I think. I will then look to the people who've been experimenting this entire time, and I will say,
Hope has just sat down on the ground, and he looks like he is very fed up with where he is.
what observations have you made?
Ground still
Well-
feels solid. Sound still emits.
It still sounds like stone. And when
you-
I tried to
it's
poke the
open.
wall, poke. Still wall?
If you're trying to poke at a wall, there's still a wall.
Yeah. There's still a
Hope
wall.
Hope stepped through it, right?
Hope
Yeah.
stepped through it, yeah.
Okay. Lessla is going to attempt something. Seeing that, or hearing that, the expectation is that Cheese was expecting to touch a wall, and therefore a wall was touched. So Lessla is going to hold her hands out and is going to move them as if playing a piano, with the expectation that there's a piano where her hands are.
You do feel your hands hit something, and you do hear that sound of piano keys. Nobody else hears it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that. No one reacts to it.
No one reacts to it. The fact that no one reacts to it is telling. At which point, Lessla looks to you all and says, "Did you all hear a piano?"
No.
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 Well, I did. So I think what's happening here is that what we expect to be in a place will be there, but only for us. Well, each individual.
I've started to lose my mind. This is it. I've truly begun to lose my mind. All of my faculties are leaving me.
Corvus reaches out in front of him and
I
expects there to
expect
be a...
there to be an exit.
Yeah, Corvus actually reaches in
I
front of him,
love
expects
how-
there to be a door handle, and begins to twist his hand.
Hope reaches out. It looks like he grabs something, seems very excited for a moment, pulls it, nothing changes, and he just flops down on the ground and lies there.
If that was...
Just staring at the non-existent ceiling.
Well done.
Hate,
You've made a fool of yourself.
I hate all of you.
Oh, because this is our fault.
Well,
I followed you.
which point Lessla says is, "Will everyone calm down? If the answer to this was that simple, I don't think they would have used it as a defense mechanism, if this is indeed supposed to be a defense mechanism. So the only logical thing is that the answer to the problem is a specific expectation. That's not just an exit. Perhaps it is an exit leading to a specific location."
Cheese can't help but think of home and think of an exit to home,
Okay.
like her little
You think of
grove.
home, and you think of an exit to home.
Probably not going to do anything. She's going to reach out and try and do something.
You feel like a handle to a door.
Yep. Turn it. Nothing.
You turn it, pull it, nothing changes.
Figured.
Why don't you try stepping through it?
Takes a few steps.
You take a few steps forward. You don't walk into a door.
I walk through and nothing's changed.
You take a few steps forward. Everyone sees you take a few steps forward.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's
Okay.
maybe it's simpler than that. What if we fell? What if we just simply have to go up?
Corvus will imagine some stairs.
Okay.
Let's walk forward. You know that
You,
thing. You
You take a you take a step expecting there to be a step, and sure enough there is, and you all see Corvus start walking up an imaginary flight of stairs.
This is somehow More horrifying than
Oh,
I
that just makes it
believed
more
it could
horrible
be.
because Corvus was worried about traps. Can you imagine?
Oh god. Okay, so we're mines now.
You go a
Okay.
few steps up, and you feel and hear something click, but nothing happens.
Yeah, I hear the click.
You hear a click, yeah.
Does everybody hear the click?
Nope, just Corvus.
Corvus is gonna be like,
Oh, no!
you know, the expectations of things. He's trying to think. All right,
What
I'm
trap did you
expecting
expect? Did you expect a
be
slide
mines.
trap?
I expect. Oh, I expect to have fancy clothes on.
Well,
It doesn't change appearance. I would feel like I have fancy clothes on, but I wouldn't actually. Like I
So
have
you
fancy
take another step, and you feel a rope or string break beneath your foot. You hear it too. And as you keep going, you keep feeling more and more random stuff under your foot. You almost slip on what feels like marbles.
Corvus,
Oh
I think,
my
is like slowly controlling his mind to rein in his paranoia.
Okay. You start to focus on that, and you start stepping on normal steps again. At this point, Corvus is probably about 30 feet up from all of you.
He'll like stop when he sees that no one else has followed him.
You all right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I haven't reached the ceiling. Or if I imagine there is one, there probably will be.
why don't you reach above you then?
What's fucking like just puts his hands like an inch above his head, expecting there to be a ceiling an inch above his head.
Yeah, it stops. Your hand does.
Then he takes his hand down, expects it to be 5 inches above his head, and then reaches up.
There is.
He just goes, I am. Oh, yeah.
Corvus, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I'm gonna get eaten. I know it. So this is
Please
gonna be
don't
the
say
below.
that.
This is gonna be the below 10.
All right.
Consistent.
You hear a voice of some kind off in the distance, off to your left. It's like it's distant, like you're hearing something in a dream, is what it sounds like. Like, you know that feeling, you're half asleep, and someone's talking to you, and it's bleeding
You hear
into
your
whatever
mum
dream
telling
you're
you
having.
you see your mum telling you to clean the dishes. Yeah, I know. The feeling.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
I recognize the voice.
No. You can't even make out words. But it
Do we
doesn't
all
sound
hear it, or is
familiar.
it just Corvus?
Just Corvus.
It sounds like it's below me or on the equal level to me.
Equal or slightly above.
Starts slowly heading in that. It starts slowly heading that direction.
As you look in that direction, you see one of these like floating like lights is a little bit closer, and you can start to make out features of it. It's like a white wispy form floating through the air.
I'm gonna start following Corvus.
Yeah, as was
Howdy.
Lessla.
There are stairs here.
He just
Let's
looks and goes, howdy.
You don't get a response.
How close is it to me?
At this point, probably I'd say maybe like a few feet away. You can get a good look at it. It's like a wispy, floating ball of mist.
Puts his spear back on his back, and he cautiously reaches a hand out underneath it.
You reach your hand out underneath it. Nothing changes.
Oh, you.
Clearly, the staircase is wide enough for 2 people.
Because he knows that Lessla cast detect magic, and she is not reporting anything. So he then raises his hand to just lightly touch the bottom of it.
Okay. You do that, and you see a very different scene. You look in, you touch it, and before your eyes, what you're seeing now is you're in like an old, swampy, marshy hut, and in front of you is a fellow, but he doesn't look like he's all there. He's in a grayscale. And he's kind of nervously looking around as he sits in this kind of old chair. It's a little bit covered in moss, and there's some mushrooms growing on the legs. All in all, this looks like a fairly awful place to be. And he doesn't seem very comfortable to be here. You can hear rummaging in another room.
Does he seem aware of my presence?
He doesn't. At least he hasn't reacted.
Howdy, sir.
No reaction.
Do the rest of us see it when we come up to his level? Or is it just Corvus?
So I'm putting a pause on what the rest of you are doing for now.
Okay.
Can I move in this space?
Yeah, you can.
I kind of move around the guy to see, like, I look at him.
Yeah, you move around, and as you're doing that, you see a kind of elderly woman with a cane, kind of like some gnarly, going everywhere white hair, hobble around the corner, and she has like a almost like a limping gait. Like she'll put the cane down, hop over, and that's the gait she has as she comes forward. All right, dearie, I brought what you asked for. As she slides over a little cup with something steaming and bubbling in it. Guaranteed to get you what you seek. And the fellow, without hesitation, reaches forward, grabs it, and brings it up to his lips, stops for just a moment, closes his eyes, breathes in deep, and drinks it in one fell swoop. And you see the old woman start to cackle as the vision fades from your sight. And you're once again standing right back where you were.
Is the wisp still there?
It's still there, but it's starting to float away.
Doesn't stop it, just like lets it go.
Okay. You let it go.
I'll look to see if where the others are, because I don't know how much time's passed.
Yeah, everyone seems to be right where you left off. That's where I'm going to resume it for everyone. Doesn't seem like any time passed, as you saw that. I assume everyone is still coming up.
Yeah.
Cheese has not gone up the stairs,
Okay.
but she is looking up.
Lessla is testing the limits of this room and is expecting the floor to move under her to lift her to where Corvus is.
You expect it to rise, essentially?
Yeah.
Okay. You do begin to rise.
Fascinating.
I believe this room carries memories.
Memories?
I just interacted with one.
How did
Whose
you interact
memory
with
did you see?
Man making a deal with something he shouldn't have made a deal with.
Which point? Did we all basically saw him reach out and touch the light, correct?
Yeah, and there I put it on the screen for you.
All right. Okay. In which case,
That's what it looks like.
Lessla will, have the room mover towards the object, and will say, "May I test it?"
It's moving away. It's like moving away still. So it's like, if you wish to go
Yeah.
chase it, then I'm gonna see if I can figure something else out.
The distance between this, at which point Lessla will now test another thought in this room, which is seeing if space warps if you expect it to.
You expect it to, but nothing happens.
There's limitations. Well, are there other such lights like that around?
There are, but they're much further off.
What was the end result of the memory you saw?
The woman gave the man a concoction. When he drank it, she began to cackle.
And that was the end.
I believe that was his end, yes. Or if it wasn't, then a worse fate was before him.
At which point, Lessla looks at the lights in the distance and starts trying to make
There
it.
are hundreds, if not thousands, of them.
Yes, if the next one, the next closest that's not that one, will start moving towards her.
Okay. You expect it to move towards you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It does not come closer.
Okay.
Clearly, we can't be lazy here.
Of course, we'll begin to descend.
Do you descend downstairs, or do you descend like Lesla's been doing, basically on a platform?
To work out.
Lessla will follow along. Well, that's
So you're not heading towards another one.
How far away is the next one?
Looks like maybe about 50 feet off.
Oh, in that case, I'll make my way towards it.
Okay. Like, you can all still see each other.
Yeah.
You have to get really far away from each other.
Yeah. So Lessla will move towards that next one, and we'll.
So Leslie, you walk up to another one.
Yep. And I'll touch it.
Okay, you touch it, and you see a scene before you. There are several individuals around, like standing around a. It looks like some sort of laboratory to you, like a magician's or wizard's study. One individual in particular is in a very grayscale look. Everyone else seems to be more colorful. And in through one of the doors walks a man. He is in very resplendent robes with some tattoos on the one side of his face. He wears a crown on his head, and many rings adorn his fingers. Basically, he looks like he's super rich and likes to flaunt it. But you can also tell from the crystal hung around his neck that this man has some knowledge of the arcane, quite significant amount. And the others all look to him and kind of like bow in reverence as he comes in. He strides into the middle of the room where there is this brilliant silver book that looks very familiar to you. Having seen it only a few hours ago. And you see as he takes his time to perform some sort of ritual, you're not sure what, and it's clear no one else is quite sure either. They're just kind of standing around in awe. But as whatever he's done concludes, he goes about and takes a cup of something, takes a big long sip of it, downing the whole goblet in one go, and after a moment clutches at his heart and almost falls over, but stops and manages to right himself. The individual in grayscale is the one that goes up to check on him, and as he does, the fellow who just fell over pulls a knife on him and stabs it directly into his heart. At which point you can see the kind of older, richer man begin to grin maniacally as the image starts to fade, and with a scream of agony, you start to see something leave the body of this man in grayscale before it fades entirely.
Oh. I have a feeling I know exactly who that is, but I suppose it would be a history check?
You could attempt a history check.
Yeah.
It is not going to be an easy check.
I don't expect it to be. That's a 16, so no. But yeah, so no definitive knowledge on who it is, but Lessla has a pretty good idea.
You can guess by some of the jewelry you've seen, because you're understandable. You know finer jewelry. You've seen it before, extensively so. You can tell this is from the lands to the south of the Sword Coast. That's the make and style of it. It also looks very old.
Mm-hmm.
And outdated, but beyond that, you can't tell anything.
It's so last century. Oh, come on, nothing?
Everyone else is too far away to hear you.
Out of character, absolutely not.
Anyway. But, Lessa sees that and just crosses her arms as she thinks about it. And I assume that when it all ends is that the mode of light also starts moving away from me.
Kind of just slowly drifting. They've not been drifting in any particular direction.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll me. This will be a investigation check.
Alright. I should have disadvantage on all of this. That's a 15.
So you notice that this one is just a little bit smaller than the last one you saw. Not by a whole lot, but it is noticeable.
Okay. So in that case, I will, because I didn't actually see any of the details of the other one, Lessla will quickly go back to the other one that Corvus touched it and try and see if there is a noticeable difference in the eras by way of their clothing.
You really don't have any way to tell.
Yeah.
This guy is wearing common clothes, looks a little bit ratty and old. The others were wearing very clearly apprentice robes.
Mm-hmm. Well, at which point, I guess it will be Lessla trying to go find the next closest. Actually, not the next closest one. The one of similar size to the first one she touched.
Okay. What is everyone else doing while Lesla's running around doing this?
Thinking. I think Corvus has gone back to what he assumes to be the same level as everyone else. He's just scanning the group that didn't join him up there, see if they're looking okay. He knows that Hope's fed up, Sophia is probably just disinterested. Elle's probably a mixture of enamored.
Zarfea is trying to follow Lessla to some degree, or at least keep an eye on her. But she seems a lot more hesitant to plant a foot down than any of you are.
There's something here. The last room was that. There's the puzzle here. Of course,
Cheese
well,
is sorry.
I can also just like try to imagine a. You almost try to like imagine a. This world's full of color. He's trying to imagine a point of gray in this place. Like not so much like he's like saying, "I want to make a point of gray." He's like, "Where is the point of gray in this world? There should be one." He's trying to almost like search for it.
Roll me a straight wisdom check.
This would be the low one. We go.
As you're doing that, you get the feeling that yeah, there really should be this point of gray. And you start looking for it, trying to focus in on it, and you feel like there's something, but you just can't see it.
I'm on the right track. Just say it out loud.
Sapphire coming up behind him. What are you trying to do?
In that little thing I saw, the man, only one of them was in grayscale. The feeling the color gray has something to do with this place. I tried to find gray in this place. I felt something. I think I'm on the right track. But I don't know where it could be. So everyone keep your eyes out for the gray in the color.
I am going to try and find gray in the color now.
Okay, that will be a straight wisdom check for you. It's not going to be as easy as it would be for Corvus.
Not the saving throw, just the straight wisdom check.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Straight wisdom.
it's the same thing. Nope.
You can't really seem to home in on what he's talking about.
I'm gonna guess I have to touch one of those moving orbs before I can have a better idea of what to look for.
Maybe.
She'll sigh and just look for one that hasn't been touched yet and go over and touch it.
They're pretty far off.
I'll be back.
So while Sapphire's doing that, Cheese, what were you going to say?
Cheese has been meditating on nothingness. If this place
Okay.
relies on belief, she chooses nothing. What happens?
You sit there. You no longer feel the ground beneath you, but you don't feel like you're falling either. You just sit there.
Okay. No changes. Okay, cool. After a while of this, Cheese is just going to stand and curse and look at everyone else.
All right, ma'am.
I'm tired of this.
As am I. But I think I have a lead.
Hmm.
There's a point of gray in this place, of color. It might be our way out. But, so far, I've been unable to find it.
Cheese nods. And she will attempt to do the same thing. She's going to reach out and attempt to focus on this point of gray.
Okay. Straight wisdom.
10. Fuck me.
You can't seem to focus in on whatever Corvus is saying. Whatever he's talking about, you can't quite seem to see it for yourself. You're not quite sure what he's means.
I
Or
don't
what you're supposed to be
understand.
looking for.
Is this some sort of abject... Why is reality not working?
This place was created by someone, and it was by someone powerful, and it was influenced by something just as powerful. It wants to make this difficult for us.
Created by someone who wanted me to lose my mind.
Exactly.
Currently, they're
If
winning.
you wish, I will go look for this thing by myself if you so wish, and you can remain here with the rest of them.
No.
At this point, everyone go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Who rolls with me?
Well, everyone except Cheese, you don't need to roll.
Oh, never mind. Disregard.
Okay. So, Cheese and Corvus. You both notice as some of these auroras that are dancing around you begin to flow close and actually past you. Little tiny wisps of light flowing and beginning to move towards and converge on a point in Vale's hand, as you can see him casting something. And as everything begins to consolidate and condense around the one of the short swords he's holding, it begins to glow.
Vale.
Perhaps let him finish what he's doing first.
I think I understand, to a degree.
Do you mind enlightening us?
We're looking at the weave. Somehow.
How is that even possible?
Don't know.
So, what are these people who got trapped in it? The final moments? What?
Must be.
Boris will focus. Kind of almost like, not trying to steal his thunder, but he will begin casting, just for saying of it, Druidcraft.
I was going to do the same thing. I was going to say Druidcraft.
We can both do it.
You both do that, and yeah, sure enough, the same thing. You see it begin to bend and pull in around you before it before the small effect you attempt to materialize does so as it stops flowing.
A little like lily.
Hmm?
What did you create?
Baby's breath.
The baby's breath sort of flutter in the air.
I got my lilies in there as well.
Yep, they're fluttering in the air around you.
Seeing into the weave. Anybody happen to have some sort of transportation spell?
It's
It
to the
can't
one
be
currently running
all of
around.
them. This shouldn't be possible. It's the weave is everything.
We know he's connected to not just Elistray, but also Mistra, right?
Yes.
You're a lady. One of them, anyway. You, contact her?
Seems like out of all of the gods that might be able to be easily contacted here, it's her.
Much to Lesmo's dismay.
She's chasing wisps, it's fine.
I can
Quite
try.
literally chasing the fairies.
Lesla's trying to get more information. Thank you very much.
Give me some time.
Mhm.
I imagine I'm still at least close enough to hear the conversation and just.
You probably noticed the
You've got to
effect.
go pretty far away.
Yeah.
You probably noticed the effect, at least if you're paying attention.
I mean, I feel like I missed my perception, but like once talking started, I kind of like paused. It's like, all right, what's going on?
Oh yeah, how well does
No,
sound travel here?
It travels pretty well in an immediate vicinity,
Alright.
but Sapphire's had to go a few hundred feet off to find this wisp.
Wait.
Cheese wants to try something. We've done pretty, like...
A few hundred feet, eh?
Yeah, if the map isn't big enough, please don't try it.
Yeah. Cheese, the spells that we have done have been pretty
Minor.
prevalent. She's going to attempt to cast Primal Savagery and see how that affects it, because that is specifically a spell that is meant to cause harm.
Same
Does the
effect.
weave interact? Yeah, it doesn't interact any differently with it.
Nope.
Okay.
I suppose me chasing that the wisp, I didn't learn what I was trying to learn.
So you go and you look chasing for another wisp.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back to you now. You are looking for a specific type of one, correct?
Yes, I was looking for one of similar size to the first one Lessla touched.
Okay. So this you do find one. It doesn't take very long. And I'm assuming you reach out and touch
Yes,
as well.
I do.
So this time you see a very different scene. As you see this inky, murky river through which these ghostly forms flow through. You can't really see anything around it, just this river flowing. And you can see, as you keep looking closer, you do notice one of these inky, wispy forms is a little bit grayer, paler than the others. And you see something moving through this this oily, inky, quite frankly disgusting and unsettling river. You can't quite get a feel for what it is, but it looks very wrong. It does not look like something natural, at least not natural in the way that you understand it. As it reaches out for this dark gray form and grabs hold of it, pulling it in as it opens up this massive maw that it has, and begins to crawl out of the river, dragging whatever this sort of ghostly form is behind it. And as it goes to take a bite, it is impaled by a jet black, almost obsidian arrow, striking it immediately and dropping it directly to the ground. As you see descend from above a very hellish looking form that then takes hold of this gray sort of ghostly figure. And that's when when you see the vision begin to fade and you come back.
At which point, Lessla will start making her way back to the rest of the group as she ponders things, and she thinks to herself, trying to communicate with Zelenora, asking, because Zelenora, being from a completely different era than her, might have a different knowledge base than her. Actually, probably does. As she says, I recognize that one. I believe I recognize one form is a form of devil, but those pale, ghostly ones from the river. Was it the river Styx, maybe? Things, souls trapped from there?
That's all I can think of.
The the ones in grayscale within the memories are the ones that are dying. So more than likely, these manifestations are that of souls. That's the only thing I can truly think of.
That is an idea. Cheese looks uncomfortable.
I'm guessing Lessla would have come back by now.
Yeah, she would have come back by now, and she's.
Figured something like that. They've made a connection and either been brought here or remembered by here.
Well, If they're souls, theoretically they should be going to whatever plane of existence that they worshipped.
About magic, correct?
Yes.
What do you know? Ever heard of something getting trapped in the weave?
And at that question, I'm going to cut over to Sapphire real quick, who's gets up to one of these orbs.
Mm-hmm.
You find a couple of them close together. One is noticeably larger than the other.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and touch the one. Like, is it larger than the one Corvus touched originally?
You didn't get a good enough look at that one.
That's fair. I'll touch the larger of the two, and if the smaller one's still there, I'll touch that one next.
Okay. So you touch it, and you see a scene. It is a dark and clearly very old, ancient room. As there is a figure in grayscale who is dragged forward by what looks like a rotting corpse made to walk. And it drags and yanks this poor individual forward, throwing them at the feet of this very tall, imposing, skeletal and decayed being, wearing very, very imposing finery and mystical artifacts adorning them. As this figure pulls out a knife and with one hand raises a finger, causing this individual to levitate closer towards them.
Is the living
As
person the one in grayscale?
they are.
Okay.
As it just slowly pulls out the knife, pulling the individual onto it, as you see something begin to flow out of them as you begin to hear the screams and the vision begins to fade.
Did the knife look a lot like the knife we have from
No.
No, okay.
It looked
Okay,
very ritualistic, but
Just
it's not the same
not
thing.
our ritualistic dagger.
No, you can tell this one was designed to pierce. The one you have is kind of designed more to cut
Okay. Yeah,
and sever.
yeah, Sapphire definitely shivers seeing that one as it fades like that. Okay. Don't want to face that. I really hope these aren't memories.
The smaller one is just off to the side.
Gonna gently touch that one next and hope it's the not as gruesome. Or
Okay.
not gruesome wasn't the word I'm looking for, but you get the case.
So this time you see several dozen people all in a line, all in chains, all being marched forward by armed soldiers. And they're being marched ever steadily towards this older, kind of decrepit looking man sitting imposingly on a throne. Wearing the same regalia you saw the very skeletal, decayed creature wearing before. As the first one is brought up to him, and one of the two robed attendants at his feet takes and plunges the knife into her back. And you see, as the grayscale figure once again cries out in agony, and you see something begin to leave the body. The vision once again fades.
Okay, murders. Okay. And those are the only two in this general vicinity?
There are others further out. You could like run around to them if you wanted,
I'm
but
not
those were the two
gonna.
that were like
No.
immediately.
Yeah, I'm not gonna run out to that. Alright, stabbing and presumably soul gets taken or something.
And I assume you head back to the rest.
Yeah. Did not exactly like the first scene. Second scene was a little bit tamer, but
Yeah, you arrive back just in time for Corvus's question.
okay.
we'll pick up there.
Yeah. So what was your question again, Corvus?
What would cause a soul to get trapped in the weave?
And soul to be
Ritualistic sacrifice,
Mm,
probably.
That's well. That depends on who you're sacrificing the soul to. If you are sacrificing a soul to enhance your own magic, then I suppose it is theoretically possible for it to be trapped in the weave. I do notice that there are every orb here, there's one person in grayscale. I assume that to be the owner of the soul. A way of indicating who it is, I guess, without their essence.
Corvus kind of scratches his beard for a second and thinks back to something. Just this morning, when the book was destroyed, we saw two people, two spectral forms. Thinks about those two.
Okay.
And connecting it with that theory he has of the grey thing, trying to connect those two together, like imagining those souls but in grey.
Well, you didn't get a very good look at them.
Yeah.
Yes, but going from what he did see, he knows that. He also was he told that name?
You weren't able to make out features.
Okay.
At which point, Lessla, also going on the same thought thread, will internally ask Zelenora what the names of her friends were and which of the ones we put in the orb that we pokeballed.
She will tell you that they were Miri and Rowan, and the one you found is Miri. You haven't found Rowan.
In which case, Lessla herself will start trying to...
I will go ahead and just put this token there so that you can see the individual you found before. Smaller since they're in this sphere. That is who you found before.
But Lessla will start focusing on and asking for Zelnor's assistance in this, but focusing on Rowan and what he looked like, seeing if his soul is also stuck here. Her soul. I hate that it's a girl named Rowan. Anyway, we'll trying to focus on her, see if we can't, since we know which soul it is, if we can't draw it here with the expectation of it coming here.
Okay. You try to. How long are you going to try to?
Until someone else interrupts me.
Okay. You're going to be doing it for a long time.
Okay. I imagine after 5 minutes, I imagine someone's going to say something. The funny thing is,
yeah, of course.
I don't think Lessla heard the conversation about the gray, which is the one reason I haven't tried doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like scratching his beard a little bit. We'll walk forward a little bit. What he assumes to be forward.
Okay.
And he's just like, yeah, he's trying to visualize. And he's trying to visualize that thing he knows he felt. Again, trying to use like, okay, we're trying to like think of everything he's just sort of weaved together so far. These are dead people's memories. Something brought these memories here. This place seems to be the weave. something grey here. An exit. A memory of an exit. He's just sort of like going through everything. He's like, because he knows there's an exit. Puzzle of some kind. He's imagining, he's always trying to like visualize the memory. Perhaps someone left it buried here. Perhaps it's... He knows the puzzle isn't as simple as... The last one was leave something behind, so this one was... just casting Druidcraft again, and like just a bunch of flowers around himself. Just like thinking...
Sapphire seeing that, like, okay, what?
Thinking like this
Yeah.
grey, because he knows like so it doesn't bring the wisps closer, but it brings like the aura closer. But he's almost like imagining like
So,
the flowers and the wisps, and the flowers and the
as
magic
you
form the
continue
doorway.
doing that, Corvus, you feel that shudder again. All of you feel a shudder run through this place.
Oh, great.
Going.
Geronimo.
There's no change, but you do feel it shake.
Interesting. What were you doing?
Casting a spell. I have an idea. Everyone here is capable of casting one spell, right?
Yes.
That's just for you to come to be beside him. It's a theory, but it might work. It's his hand out. Like it's like so he's like making a ring with everyone. Everyone
Okay.
that joins. He's just waiting for everyone. Do the NPCs also come, or
Everyone but Hope.
Mr. Hope? I need you over here as well.
Hope lets out a heavy sigh, stands up, and walks over. It's very much akin to like a toddler sulking. His demeanor.
Oh no, we're trying to make something work. How terrible.
I need
Or at least break this place.
everyone. When I was doing there, what did something? I think if we all cast a spell, it might be able to, and we all imagine a way out, we might be able to create something. It's a theory, but if it works, well,
Well,
we're all based on theory here. And he holds his hand out, and he'll just begin casting Druidcraft again.
I will reach my hand out and cast Dancing Lights, because why not?
Does everyone who can cast a spell?
Cheese will cast Druidcraft.
Okay.
Hesitantly, but she'll do it.
Hope will fire off a beam of energy into the air.
Do it, Hope!
It's the only spell he can like really like cast.
Okay, it's his only cantrip.
Eldritch based.
People remember that Eldritch Blast has to target a creature.
You can target one of the orbs.
It does have to target something, but it does lance forward. Yes. So
He targets someone and he purposely misses.
something like that.
Something.
But anyway,
Yeah.
as you all cast, you feel that shudder again, and you hear like a. If you've I assume none of you in character have heard this, but out of character, I assume you've heard like the sound of like cracking ice, like large
Corvus
Ooh.
probably heard the
Like that
sound of
kind of,
cracking.
like,
Lesla's probably heard it.
warping sound.
Yeah.
as it-
I love
yeah.
it.
So you hear that echo through this entire space.
Alright, I think it's working.
Hold, before... What exactly are we doing? I might
Breaking
ask.
out of here. Breaking out of here.
What is here?
While they're having that discussion, Cheese,
Hi.
you notice something. All the lights are a lot closer now.
They're getting closer.
They seem denser.
I'm gonna have my dancing lights move about.
Because I don't know about you, but usually the sound of cracking ice is not a good idea.
You have any better ideas?
I'll take the silence as a no.
Are they close enough to touch now?
No, but they are a lot closer than they were.
Okay, Cheese will again cast Druidcraft.
Of course, we'll join in as well.
Minor illusion, little sparks in my hands.
Okay.
Lessla, while they're doing that, because she personally doesn't think that's the best idea, but they're seem to gung-ho about this, is going to look into the lights and try and see if there's any one of the lights that has a noticeable difference.
Yacht, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right.
Remember, you have
I
disadvantage.
do, but that's an 8, so I don't think I can roll
Hey,
worse.
it's gonna be a 1.
Yeah, that's so
Okay.
8.
You don't see anything like that. You don't see anything that are like noticeably larger from a distance.
This is such a bad idea.
Says the person who touched random magical artifacts and summoned gods knows what.
I never said this was a good idea. It's the only idea, but it's the only idea I've got. And unlike, it's done something.
I feel like I'm missing something.
I probably am, but I miss a lot of things in my life. Sometimes you have to go with only half the information, because you don't know how to find out the other half.
Yeah, and every time I've done that, I've been yelled at.
Because you've almost gotten us killed. And if this almost gets us killed, then you can yell at me. Let's try it. At the very least, this is a group decision.
So if we're all casting another spell, minor illusion, flowers in the air.
So after all doing that, you once again hear the same crack. And this time, Cheese, you don't need to roll. Everyone else roll perception.
I was going to have another look because Cheese pointed out that something was closer, so I was going to have a little look anyway.
Yeah, all the lights are a lot closer. It's noticeable to everyone now.
Except
Corvus. You and Cheese both notice very faintly there's like an inky scar running through the horizon.
There we go.
That's it. And Cheese
What's
will point
it?
it out.
Is it gray?
No, I don't like
Is it
that.
gray
It's
shadow?
black. It is
Black,
jet
but
black, and there are
something.
thick
Black is
tendrils of
grayscale.
shadow licking in from it.
Okay, I don't like that.
Can I make
As
it?
No.
it pointed out.
That's something.
If someone points that out, can I please make an Arcana check?
Yeah, Cheese points it out immediately.
Yeah, Ghost points it out as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you can all
Yeah,
see it.
after it's pointed out, Sapphire's like, I do not like the looks of that.
A 20. Is that what I think it is, Shadow? Please tell me.
What do you think it is?
I think that's the Shadow Weave, and they're breaking the weave.
It is not.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it. What it looks like is... So you've seen very, like, messed up forbidden magic.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least, you've heard of it. And you probably, well, no, you did see it that time you were in the town. The River's Crossing.
Yes.
That is what is currently licking in.
I don't think we want to keep doing this. That is those are forbidden magical energies.
Do you remember where we are? The actual physical location that we are supposedly in is a tomb meant for someone with dark magic. This place is a facade. This is all just pretty. All of these memories that you people have been touching have been inky and black and disgusting and horrible. That is the truth.
We'll stare into the abyss. So, when we were in that corridor before we ended up here, it was black. This is the same color.
Sorry, the same color as what?
We were in the corridor before we came to this.
It is the same
Aurora
jet
bit.
black, the absence of color.
Absence.
Yeah.
Just like the corridor we
Jeez.
came in from.
Sorry. Jeez is going to will herself closer to it, I guess.
That's not. We've learned that's not how it works.
Imagine a staircase towards it. Whatever the fuck works. She's getting closer.
Us will follow, but he's sort of keeping pace with Cheese. You can still see that look of caution that he always has on his face.
Okay.
The Sapphire's
Is
going to
everyone
glance over
following
to the other
Cheese?
NPCs, like,
I am.
Okay.
I'm glancing over to the NPCs to see what they're doing, because I genuinely do not want to get...
If it's a way out, Hope is following.
We don't know if it is or not.
She seems to think it is. That seems good enough for him.
Decision.
What?
Most of us get a closer look before he makes a decision.
Okay.
He is like staring into it.
What about Zarfea and Vale?
Zarfea is following along with Lessla. Vale is very cautious to go closer, but if everyone else does, he will too.
He and I are in the same boat right now. It's like, we don't want to get closer, but we don't want to be left behind.
Lessla follows along, staying within at least 90 feet.
I guess Vale and I take the rear.
Might
Sorry.
be, it might not. Don't know.
So as you get closer, you begin to see these inky tendrils of shadow clawing in, and you see them reach out and grasp one of these orbs, pull it in, and it just ceases to exist.
Sort of like it may not be it. That doesn't bode well.
And then it grabs another and does the same. Every time it grabs them, there's like the lights begin to flicker, and then it pulls them in, and they just cease. And you can see minor cracks continuing to splinter out from this big one, though they're not nearly as big, but every time it grabs one, there's another splinter, and then another splinter, another splinter.
Cheese takes a deep, very shaky breath. My turn to be reckless. And she's...
Force will grab her hand. Do about this.
Is there anything else we can do?
I don't know.
If these cracks keep forming, it's likely that it'll swallow us anyway.
He'll step aside her, still holding her hand, and he'll move with her.
Okay.
And Cheese will reach the, I suppose, the other hand out, and I guess into this inky blackness.
You reach out, and one of the tendrils begins to like reach out for you as well, writhing and wriggling and reaching very desperately for your hand as you begin to inch closer and closer. And as I'm assuming you allow it to grab hold of you,
Yes.
as soon as it does, you feel this deep, for you, Cheese, familiar cold grasp hold of your very essence
Oh, lovely.
and begin to pull. You haven't felt this feeling since back at River's Crossing. You've recognized very clearly the grip of death, trying to pull you in, trying to claw you back.
Writing this down. Oh God, what does she do? You just see Cheese, any sort of resolve, any sort of false confidence has completely dropped as pure terror takes hold. Can she let go?
It'll be either a strength or wisdom save.
Oh God.
I'll say
Strength is physical, wisdom is to kind of will it away.
Same moment, I think Corvus would pick up on Cheese's expression change, if that's okay, and he'd try to pull her as well. I give
Make
her
the save
help
with
on this.
advantage.
Okay. Cheese, this is a sort of knee-jerk reaction as just very primal. This is just pure terror. I'm gonna go ahead and do strength because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm rolling this with advantage then, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, that is a 7.
Okay.
Don't worry,
You're not,
the other one was worse. It was, or no. Yeah, they were both 7s. They both rolled
you're
7.
not able to free yourself from its grip, but you don't go any closer to it.
Okay.
I imagine there's now a scene of Corvus pulling on Cheese and Cheese pulling away
Yeah.
from the thing.
And I'm assuming Cheese is screaming.
At this point, yeah, Cheese would. Like, nobody has ever heard her before. It is just pure, abject, nonsensical terror.
In which case, the reason I was staying within 90 feet, it becomes evident, and Lessla is going to cast Vortex Warp.
Hopefully that doesn't make the darkness
Okay.
get closer.
Cheese is in danger.
I know.
So you're casting Vortex Warp.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look at that spell real quick. Or if you could read it, post it in the chat for me.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So you teleport Cheese away. Cheese. As you feel yourself teleported away, I'm assuming you allow this feeling to take over you and pull you away. Like Lesla's.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel this thing will not let go.
Great.
I need you to make me a con save.
Oh, fun.
I can give
this
advantage on
flat
this one,
roll?
because I'd still be pulling, if that helps.
No advantage. You cannot help Cheese with this.
Okay.
Okay, so flat roll. Here we go. That is a dirty 20.
Okay. So, Cheese, you are able to tug away, and you're able to pull yourself free. But if you feel like it has left a mark on you, like the merely interacting with this has left a negative impact. And as you reappear by wherever it is that Lessla has you reappear, you look down and your hand looks just a little bit old and withered. You can still move it, but any sensation to it is dulled. Your Constitution score is lowered by 1.
Permanently?
For now.
Time to find greater restoration.
Honestly, as Cheese is teleported back, she's still screaming at this point. Since it's sort of like the reaction of like someone holding onto you and then letting go. She falls back and she is just looking for a wall to push herself up against.
Vale and Zarfea immediately rush over.
Yeah.
Hope
Same with Sapphire.
raises a hand and fires a beam at the black thing. It doesn't really do anything, but he's shouting something at it.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine obscenities mixed in with magic words.
Corvus, as he was
it's that
probably
same
the
language
second.
that feels wrong.
Yeah,
As
that's
Corvus
the-
was also pretty close to this thing, he backs up as it might try to grasp him. We'll walk back.
You are- I assume that Lessla is going to like try and comfort Cheese.
Yeah, I mean, Lessla, because she was staying far enough away, she probably would have teleported Cheese or somewhere close to her. So as soon as that happens, she looks at Cheese and says, "Cheese, I need you to focus. Are you all right?"
After sort of realizing that she is no longer in that immediate state of danger, which would honestly take a few minutes, she just holds the hand that has become older, and she is just rumbling.
Anyone who's paying attention would just see a look of guilt on Corvus's face.
Lessla holds the hand and says, "We will find a way to fix it. But I do not believe that is a way out. I don't believe this place is as illusory as you think it is. Whatever it is." Because again, she missed that conversation.
It's at this point Vale's finally getting to you. And Zarfea stops a little bit away, and like she wants to come help, but she's not coming closer.
Lessla will pull from her bag a glove that she probably doesn't wear and offer it to Cheese to put over her hand.
Cheese will take it and very carefully put it on, as if like it might not be physically tender, but Cheese is putting on the glove as if her hand was almost just burned.
Okay, so that is not good for any of us. As it's growing, the more souls it takes in.
See Corvus, he's kind of plumped down a little bit. He's just staring at the abyss.
We really should have just went back to Waterdeep.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's nobody's fault.
If Cheese will let Sapphire, she will like hold her, like gently hold her good hand and just give a gentle squeeze, trying to like help comfort her, maybe help ground Cheese a little bit.
At which point, Lessla, trying to think of ways to solve this problem, looks to looks to Vale and says is, I have a theory, but I want to run it past you since you're probably the only person here who knows as much about magic as I do. What if we cast Mending on this place?
From what I can tell, every time we use magic of any sort, we pull from the weave around us. And that seems to be the only thing holding that back.
So we need to figure out a way of getting out of here without magic, because if we do so, it's causing the cracks. So how would one leave a place of magic without magic?
Denying its existence. Which I doubt is something we can do.
Are the souls that were moving closer to us, were they moving closer to us because they're moving away from that, from the...
No, it's like they're all getting closer together.
Was it specifically around us, or was it just generally closer together?
In general.
Okay. Okay, there has to be a way out without fracturing the weave. Why are they all gray? Their souls hung gone from their bodies, trapped in this place as a form of protection? Damn it, Shun, what were you doing?
Do you want me as the GM to remind you of some information?
Yes.
So you were able to figure out that the book was a phylactery.
We inside a fucking phylactery.
At which point,
What the fuck?
There's only one way to get out of a phylactery if you're trapped in one. You don't have access to that magic.
No.
yeah. At which point, Lessla will pull out her potential phylactery, and because this is the first time I've done it here, we'll see if it's reacting any to this place.
Once you pull it out, you do see some of the miasma start to flow into it.
At which point, the gray miasma that's coming from the cracks, or the or like the area around
The colorful.
us?
The colorful.
All right. In which case, Lessla will once
It's not going into it, but is condensing around it.
At which point, Lessa will look to Vale and internally ask Zalnora what their opinions on this is.
Vale looks at you and scratches his head. Like he's trying to make sense of this just as much as you are. Zalanora, you hear mentally that it might be our only way out, though I don't know how you'd use it.
Well, it hasn't killed me yet, and Lessla will start focusing on...
That is never a good sentence.
Is that said out loud?
No, that is mental.
Okay.
That is entirely mental.
Okay.
I feel like if you did say that out loud, everyone would be looking at you like, what the fuck are you planning?
At which point, Lessla is going to start trying to will the miasma into the phylactery, or is it the other way around? Oh.
You're trying to command the miasma, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. You start to do that. Like, what are you trying to command from it? What goal are you trying to achieve?
I think what Lessa would be trying to achieve is figuring out a way to command the miasma to not necessarily create an exit, but to repair itself somehow.
Okay, you try and do that, and it flutters and shifts, but doesn't respond to you otherwise.
Okay, well, it doesn't have the ability to repair itself. How about... damn it.
What exactly are you trying to do, man?
The phylactery is responding to the miasma, and I think it is the key to getting out of here, but I don't know how it works. I know I can trap souls into it.
You can store a soul willingly.
Yes, I can store a soul willingly.
Corvus will reach and... Because Corvus is a monk. Key's his thing. Key comes from the soul as far as he knows.
Mm-hmm.
He just tries to... But before he's trying to be... Like, I want a door to be here. He's just like... He's trying to use his key. Almost like push into this place and just force a door.
Okay.
Not expecting it. Trying to just force one.
Roll me an Arcana check. And give me a second, because Roll20 is reloading for me.
Okay. I'll give you a second. Straight roll?
Yeah, just a straight roll.
And are you good?
Roll20 is loading.
Alright, I'll wait a little longer.
Loading.
I mean, we'll see when he's back in. His icon will pop up.
Here. And this is how Shadow died.
Oh, he will be missed.
No, I don't want to be trapped in here for all of eternity. I want to go home.
Never.
I've got a brother to get back to.
He has a happy life now.
Hey Shadow, if I spend a key point, can I get advantage?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. If I spend all 3 of my key.
I'm gonna still say no.
Okay, just I have to try here. I only got a +3.
I know you'll probably roll a natural 20.
I won't. I'll roll fucking shit. I always do when I roll a counter. You good, Shadow?
Trying something.
Technical difficulties.
I'm gonna turn off. Oh, what's the setting? Roll20 doesn't like.
Hardware acceleration being off.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess with hardware acceleration. Okay, good. McAfee's turned off.
Why was it ever turned on?
Because this computer came with it.
Ah.
Hardware acceleration. I have to remember where to go for that. I haven't had mess with this in so long. Graphics acceleration, that's the one it doesn't like, I think. Yes, that was the one.
Ah.
That was the one. Okay.
Less than 10. Here we go.
All right. So you will it to make an exit, and something starts to happen. It tries, and something like the miasma starts to form, but it just isn't able to reach that final step.
I feel like it's I'm the limiting factor, or something else is the limiting factor.
It feels. It doesn't feel like it's like it's you. Maybe it could be your limited knowledge of how magic works, but it feels like there's just not enough power behind it right now.
Does everyone else see the miasma coalesce?
Oh yeah, everyone else can see it.
I mean, I feel like Cheese and Sapphire are just focused on themselves because Sapphire's trying to calm Cheese down.
Corvus's eyebrows furrow, and he now finally standing up, his face focused. Goes, we were expecting an exit to appear. We need to make it appear. It's reacting to the phylactery, reacting to souls. We have souls. It's working, but I can't quite get there.
Alright, well then, how about we all work together then? And I'll look to Vale and internally at Zelnora. Let's all try and create this door. Maybe it requires more power than any individual has.
Alright. Everyone will join you and attempt this. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. I will count this as casting a spell for you, Lessla.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
26?
You try, and it gets a little further. But, again, it just doesn't feel like there's enough power. Though, as you really think about it, it doesn't feel like it's drawing on you at all.
Does it feel like it's drawing from the orb itself?
It could be, but you're not sure. It doesn't feel like it's drawing from you. You can't tell if it's drawing from the orb. You're not connected to it in that way.
Okay. At which point, Lessla thinks and says, it needs more power. It needs more power from the souls. At which point, Lessla will will look at the souls that are gathering together, and she will shout. She shouts out for Rowan and says, "Rowan, if your soul is here, hear me. There's only one way to survive. I need your assistance. Zelnora needs your assistance, and I can't remember the third name.
I believe it was Melly.
Miri.
Miri needs your assistance." I believe it's actually written down somewhere.
Roll me a... I think that would be persuasion.
Yep. And I'm going to assume that this is going to be a disadvantage.
It would be, unfortunately.
Oof.
God, the 20! There was a 26!
It echoes around, but none of the souls seem to respond. However, I do want you to make a perception check.
Alright. Here, I'm making all these checks at disadvantage. It's a 13 at least.
Okay. Yeah, that would be good enough. Okay. You do notice that it is a little closer by the ever-growing crack, but there is one particular orb that is noticeably larger than all the others.
damn it! And Lesla's going to start running towards it. Which, to everyone else, probably looks like she's running straight at the fissure.
I grab her.
No! I think that's Rowan's soul over there. Let me go!
What? Then if he's not... Look. You can't risk getting too close to that thing. It will grab you.
We have limited time, and I think that Rowan is the key.
Fast.
Vale speaks up. It would make sense that if it's powered off of what's left of a soul, adding another would likely increase it.
Woods holds his hand out. Give me the orb, then. I'm the fastest.
I have Zelnora. I have the best chance.
Please. I have to be the one who goes close to that thing.
Fine, but if it grabs you, I'm teleporting you.
It was Rowan, right?
Rowan, yeah, that's her name.
Yeah. Zelnora and Mary. Then he takes the orb and he zooms.
Okay.
I
How
go
about
to
you
the
just for the
door.
heck of it roll me a athletics check?
Fucking. Can I do acrobatics instead?
He just starts doing cartwheels. Starts doing
just for the heck of
cartwheels.
Alright. This will be.
There's nothing to stop you, so I would say this would be with advantage. You are in like the ideal running situation.
I get 14.
Okay. Alright. So you get over there. You're able to... It is out of reach of the tentacles for now, but they are reaching ever closer. And you can actually see, in addition to those tendrils, there is like hands and claws starting to claw their way out of it.
He'll run close to that soul, hold the orb up to him, and be like, "Alright, Rowan, look. Got my was it?
Miri.
We got Miri and Zelnora. You can get out of this. Just gotta... I know it sounds strange, but you gotta get in this orb, and then we can get out."
That would be persuasion, but with advantage.
Wish me luck. I'm fucking horrible at persuasion.
Ooh.
Okay.
You're not bad at persuasion, you're just not specialized in it.
You...
I mean,
You
if someone
hold out
ran up
the
to you and
orb.
went, "Get in the orb, get in the orb, get in the orb," you'd
And
be a little
you
spooked.
hold out the orb, and the ball of light begins to drift closer and closer. You start to be able to like make out features in it. It starts to form a little bit differently. Shifting from an orb to more of like a figure. As that's happening, though, one of the like claws kind of breaks free from the edge.
Being that, Corvus will push the orb closer to this one, to her, to this form of Rowan, like he assumes, in like sort of like giving it to her,
Mm-hmm.
quick, like even faster as he can.
Okay.
Even if you just hold on to me.
Yeah, no, it without much coaxing goes right in.
Yeah. And then Corvus will turn on his heel and begin running back.
Okay.
He is ready to throw this orb if he is grabbed.
Mhm.
Because
This bitch full! Go!
it's literally the idea of Corvus feels responsible for the thing, so he doesn't care if it kills him.
Mhm.
Okay.
No!
Because it's his fault it appeared in the first place.
Regardless, yeah, you're able to make it back. Though you can see something behind you crawling out of the open fissure as it begins to crack more and more.
Sorry,
Hands it
something's
back. Hands it
out.
back to Lessla.
All right. Well, one more time.
Yeah, we got him.
One more time.
All right, Lessla.
Yep.
Can I help? No, I guess I couldn't help with it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's a little.
wouldn't help anymore, Sapphire. Here we go.
Okay. So you hold it forward and will it to open, and as it does, you feel even the orb begin to like vibrate from just the sheer amount of energy flowing through it.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than the door you expect, the miasma begins to swirl around all of you.
Oh, fuck this.
The place the cult
almost like
I'm
a
staying right with Jeeves.
almost like a tornado as it begins to. It doesn't feel like you're being pulled. It feels like you're being pushed away. And with one snap, all of you suddenly find yourselves lying on the cold, hard ground at the bottom of a featureless pit.
Sit up.
Lessla is just gonna lay there for a second.
I pull out my dagger, flick the light on.
Why?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're at the bottom of this pit.
Lovely. We're back where we fucking started.
Uh.
But
The
yeah, no,
orb is softly glowing in your hand, Lessla.
We're at the bottom of this pit, or we're here?
We're at the bottom.
You're at the bottom of the pit. I just took you back to the
Okay.
map.
Corvus will, when he's back up, looks around with his light, and he'll actually move over. Jeez.
Oh, I've been by Cheese like ever since she
Yeah.
got back from being touched by that
You're
thing.
all kind of like waking up just random places around the pit. You're not necessarily next to each other, right?
Yeah, that's what I said when he
Oh,
gets up. He shoots
yeah.
up, looks around, and then goes to Cheese.
Jeez, there is a Corvus and a Sapphire, I think, running to you.
Although I will like not like immediately like go too close to her because I know she is like no touchy right now.
Yeah. Corvus is the only thing he could think of in the situation. He falls to his knees and essentially prostrates himself in the thing of like the universal sign of I am so sorry.
Don't get that.
So you effectively the begging for your life vow.
Yeah. But yeah, like the
Gotcha.
I have no other way to say I'm
Slammed
sorry.
head on
other
the
than-
floor.
Yes, don't get
Corvus
that.
would do that. He wouldn't care.
No.
Jeez, that's what you see in front of you. Marin?
Forgot I had muted myself. I'm a genius, guys. I'm a genius. Cheese in this moment of pure, just like she is having a meltdown. But as she's, hold on, we're
Two people.
Fucking-
Because usually I try to play a thing where I don't like a character key into another character's mental breakdown. But the problem is, Corvus would totally be having a mental breakdown as well. Just in his own way.
God. And Cheese in this moment. She basically attempts a hug. Just like throwing herself into him.
He just tense up, and he
And-
wouldn't really know what's going on. It's like because he's not looking.
She is just like, almost draped herself over him, trying to Corvus specifically, she's just trying to hug him. She's crying, and
I don't know if it's okay to rub Cheese's shoulder. Like Sapphire's like holding a hand out to like kind of like rub her back, but she just stops. Like no. I don't know if it's okay to touch her yet or not.
yeah, and the terrified crying that previously had been silent is now just racking sobs.
Let's see.
The quiet is interrupted as you hear, "Okay, where's the rope? I'm getting the hell out of here!" As the Hope begins scrambling up the side of the wall.
Oh, Hope goes up first. Oh dear.
He is now.
Boy makes athletics check because Corvus doesn't trust Hope, which means Boy doesn't trust Hope. So if only Hope's, well, I guess he hears the crying. So like,
Yeah, I know, he hears stuff going on.
Okay, he knows that they're all alive at least.
Which point?
If it was just Hope going up, Boy might be like, he killed them all. Push.
And it is a far enough. It is a far. It is far enough drop that would probably just instantly kill Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it probably would.
After
it would be 20d6.
Yeah.
Oof.
My God.
Yeah, I think after a little bit.
Well, if Boy let him get to the top.
Will like lift his head slightly and just wrap an arm around Cheese. He's back.
Can you say that again? You were a little.
He kind of lifted his head slightly and raised an arm just to wrap it around her back, and just says, "I'm sorry, man. Yeah."
Cheese isn't really able to form words at the moment.
Fully adjust himself until he's kind of shifting Cheese, but still not forcing it off him. And also look around, and you can see. I think anyone else who's not Cheese sees that look of like, Wallace is not used to situations where he is vulnerable. See that look of primal fear in his eyes for a second before he again focuses back on Cheese, and the face just changes to one of, again, that sort of guilt. Alright. Let's, we got what we came for.
Yeah. When you say that, that's when Lessla finally like starts getting up, and she says, "And that's what I'm afraid of." Hope, don't climb too fast. There's a chance that whatever it was that's keeping these souls in that came out of this book with the souls is waiting up there.
I don't think they care.
You can see like pause like about 40 to 50 feet up. You just see like silhouette in the light. And after a little while, "If I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna die in a hole." It keeps going.
At which point that's when Boy cuts the rope.
I was on the evil side the whole time.
Which point Lessla will look to the rest and say, "Fine, Veil is a Veil. Let's go stay with him just in case he somehow manages to almost get himself killed again." Because Lessla knows that Cheese will need time.
I actually call this is just sort of every now and then like stroking Cheese's back and repeating the words "I'm sorry."
I'm already rubbing her back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
He's just repeating the words "I'm sorry."
I don't want to interrupt anyone, so I'm like messaging Marin like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. So Lessla starts climbing up the rope along with the others. not to, you know, seem callous or heartless, but
Oh no,
Lessla
that makes sense. It's the idea of someone's having a really ugly cry right now, and I don't want to be.
That's not it entirely. It's that right now the three of you are, well, at least the two of you are somewhat non-functional. If something dangerous happens, there has to be someone that can still act.
Understand.
Is that Lessla has taken as much as Cheese has talked to her against it, she's still under the don't put people in unnecessary danger, and going to help you, going to console you right now puts other people in unnecessary danger.
Oh, it makes sense.
But I think this is where I will call it for this session.
All right.
Alrighty. And with that, we will call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And if you support the artist or the channel, please view the links down in the description below.